This video demonstrates how to use a tail lift safely and also highlights some practices that you must never undertake when using a tail lift. First of all, always make sure you switch the engine off. Take care to have 3 points of contact when getting out of the cab. Always lock the vehicle and put the key away safely. Once out of the cab, walk round the vehicle and do your risk assessment. Check safety of parking and delivery location. Is it flat? Are you on a slope? How steep is the slope? Check the state of the ground. Is it level, smooth, free from stones, and are there any steps to go up? Check weather. Is it raining? Is it windy? Is it freezing? Will the tail lift deck be icy or wet? Check that there are no people in the vicinity. Check no cars are parked in the working area. Have a visual check of the tail lift. Are the warning markers present and clear? Does everything look as it should? Are there any loose or missing parts? Before you unload the pallet, show the customer the paperwork to ensure you have the correct goods for them. If it is a home delivery, check you have the correct delivery point and the correct goods before unloading. Explain to the homeowner how you plan to deliver and where you will be able to leave the pallet. If the customer is not happy with this, contact the office for advice. Always wear protective gloves when handling a tail lift. As you open the back doors, check there is no pressure on the doors. If there is, something may have fallen against them, so open with caution. Check there is no one walking down the side of the truck. Secure the doors so they do not blow in the wind and become a hazard. Ensure the tail lift is operated on a level surface. If you're on a slope, how steep is the slope? Can you safely control the pallet as you bring it onto the tail lift? It is important to stand back and keep hands and feet clear of working parts when using a wander lead or remote. Never put your hands near the tail lift and mechanism as it is unfolding. The tail lift will not hit the lights or body. It is designed to be a close fit and there is no room for hands or fingers. The customer must keep back. Always isolate the controls when the vehicle is left unattended. When unfolding the tail lift, bend your knees and keep your back straight. Safety boots must always be worn when using a tail lift or moving pallets, as there is a risk of trapping feet or of dropping heavy items on them. As the tail lift rises, keep feet and freight clear of the trapping point between the tail lift and body. If standing point markers are on the tail lift, then use them. If not, allow at least 10 centimeters or 4 inches between the trapping point and feet or freight. Check the truck bed is clean and free from debris. If there are any objects in the way, remove them before moving the pallet. If curtains are open to release the straps, this should be done from the floor at the side of the truck. Do not lean over next to an unguarded edge to undo straps. Always use the pallet truck to move the pallet. If you have a tall freight on a Euro pallet, ensure the pallet truck forks are used in the longer side of the pallet to keep the pallet stable. Use the pallet truck to push the pallet onto the tail lift, so that if you are unable to stop it, the pallet will not push you off. Move the pallet steadily so that you have it under control. If you're on a slope and the pallet is running away, stop. Consider if you can deliver this pallet safely. If in doubt, call the office for advice. Never exceed the safe working limit of a tail lift. Keep the load central, but within 10 centimeters of the trapping point to make sure the weight is distributed evenly. Operate the tail lift smoothly to avoid jerking the tail lift as the load may become unstable and it will also put extra strain on the tail lift. Do not allow others to help you move pallets on or off the tail lift. Other people are not insured to be on your vehicle. If the load is too heavy to move on your own, stop and call the office for advice. Make sure all paperwork is signed and completed by the customer. Never jump from the raised tail lift. Always ride down on a tail lift or use a ladder if provided. Never pull the pallet backwards onto the tail lift with your back to the edge. Don't stand too close to the tail lift edge when moving pallets on it. Be careful not to slip on a wet tail lift edge. Don't use the tail lift close to cars or people. Keep people clear. If in a public place, ensure that there are no people in the working area that may be struck by falling freight or by the action of the tail lift working. Never allow any untrained person onto the back of your truck or onto the tail lift. Never move the pallet using the banding straps or by pushing or pulling the pallet or freight. Never allow any untrained person to push or pull the pallet. If you are having difficulties moving the pallet or delivering it safely, please contact the office. If you cannot deliver safely for any reason, contact the office. On home deliveries, make sure customers are asked to keep children and pets clear of the working area. As you work, look out for anyone coming too near. If anyone comes into this area, stop. Ask them to move before you continue. This is what can happen. Only use a tail lift model you've been shown how to use. If you are asked to use a tail lift you are unfamiliar with, report this to your office and ask for some instruction on how to use it.